Greetings and peace, everybody. How are you today? This is Makanjuola, and this is Good Morning Ifa. I want to say thanks to everybody who shared the flyer and the promotions this week for this morning's topic. Again, this is Good Morning Ifa, live and uncut. So I want to apologize for the minute of tardiness here today. So what I'm going to do is, as usual, I'm going to start off with some prayer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the music that we normally play, as you guys already know. Play the music, and then we'll get right into it. So please stay tuned. If you feel free to share this broadcast with as many people as you can. We're trying to get this message of Ifa out to the people, present this clean glass of information to many people who wants to listen. Again, my name is Makanjuola. This is Good Morning Ifa. We got a great topic coming up today, a really good topic coming up today. You guys are going to love it. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with the prayers first, all right? So I want to start with Iba Olodumare, Iba Ori, Iba Ya, Baba Ba, Iba Rumale, Iba Risha, Iba Gungun, Iba Lu, Iba Chibanya, Iba Baba Ifa, Iba Daba, Iba Kora, Iba Seda, Iba Raba Banyali Ife, Iba Olu Aye, Iba Rada Avlaba Aye, Iba Akora Aye, Iba Seda Aye, Iba Ojibanya Aye, Iba Ianifa Aye, Iba Baba Lao Aye, Iba Olarisha Aye, Iba to all ancestors who are present today who wants to see this broadcast of Good Morning Ifa successful today. I say Aye. Iba Ifa Aye. Ifa, I come to you today. This is Jasir Makanjuola, aka Roger Franklin, Omo Annie Harden Odu Obeyonu. Coming to you today with this Good Morning Ifa presentation. Ifa, please bless this presentation. May it reach the ears of the right person. May it strike a nerve for some people to make changes in their lives, to calibrate their lives, to do what they need to do with their life, to be at peace, Ashe. May we remove any Ayewos lurking around this presentation. Remove all death, sicknesses, fights, losses, court cases, contention, losses, suffering, fears, and doubts, Ashe. And lay the foundation of Ire, Ifa, for this presentation. May it bring long life, Ajay, good spouses, good children, and victory over all things that whoever hears this message is facing, and who's ever dealing with this topic in their personal life. We give thanks and praise, Ifa. Again, we say Ashizzle, Ashe, Ashe. Remember, you guys, share this video. We're going to do a little libations. We're going to let a few people come on in, and once this song ends, we'll go right into the message for today. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned.
Omi tutu, ona tutu, tutu lawoye. Kosi ku, kosi harun, kosi ejo, kosi ojo, kosi idina, kosi wahala. I call upon the power and spirits of my maternal ancestors. I call upon the power and spirits of my paternal ancestors. For I am spirit of your spirit, blood of your blood, bones of your bones, flesh of your flesh. I call upon you to come forward to hear my prayers and requests.
Lead me on my destiny. Be it peace and good character. Nat Turner, Malcolm X.
To my ancestors that did life on plantations before libation. To my ancestors that did life on plantations before libation. Salafia, everybody.
Yeah.
Before libation.
To the poor souls we lost in that middle passage. Those who fought back, we mourn through closed caskets. Those whose offspring was ripped from their arms, sold off like they was cattle on a farm. Field niggas slaving sun up to can't see. Escaped and got shown the meaning I can't breathe. Queens who fell victim to masses, passes, resisted, hand nurse gashes from lashes. Those who sip water from designated fountains, pick cotton for crumbs, raise fams in the slums. From trees they hung like Christmas ornaments. As rednecks sip beers, cut off ears for souvenirs. Still blast, hoping you hear my cries. And goom goom odupe for your sacrifice. Stared death every day between the screws and stood firm until they revised the rules. To my grandmother, Samantha Turner, though we never met, your grandson still mourns your Modupe for giving birth to Annie Lee, who inevitably gave birth to blasphemy. Was only 48 when God called you home. Left my heart in pieces. Yeah, I'm still grieving. I hear your spirit speaking louder than ever. With this song, I'm lifting you and the rest of my ancestors' souls. To my goon blast, salute you. Without further ado, I present to you.
What is going on, everybody out there? Good morning, happy Sunday. Welcome again to Good Morning Ifa. If this is your first time in, please chime in and let me know where you're from. I would love to get to speak to everybody who has chimed in. This Good Morning Ifa thing has been good to me thus far, and I'm looking at growing it even further as we go along. Again, Good Morning Ifa is brought to you by myself, Makanjuola. Again, I say aboy to aboye and I shizzle to all that view this video. Welcome to Good Morning Ifa. I have been trained and I study with, just so you know where my background is, I have been trained and I study with a temple out of Los Angeles called Otura Tuka. Otura Tuka is headed by Baba Ika Meji, Baba Amos as I call him, or Baba Ifa Iraro, whatever you want to call him. He's trained by Chief Popola out of Nigeria, one of the top people in Ifa, one of the most talented chiefs and Babalaos and Babalaos in Ifa. And I've been blessed to be trained by him and his tutelage, so I give thanks. Now, what we do practice in this Ifa style of practice, we do traditional Ifa. So some of the things I may say may sound a little strange to some people who may practice different lineages, but nevertheless, it's all good information. All right. So again, I want to say welcome to Good Morning Ifa. I am Makanjuola. Good Morning Ifa prides itself on Ifa interpreted through the lenses of an African American or an African in America. Why do we say this? Because Ifa is a vast system, spiritual system, that crosses borders, oceans, continents, all the above. And our experiences here are a little different than people in other places. So that's why I say Good Morning Ifa is an interpretation of Ifa, or wisdom of Ifa interpreted through the lenses and experiences of Africans and Africans in this America, KKKA. All right, so again, tune into this show every second and fourth Sunday of each month right here on Facebook Live. As we build it up, we will begin to migrate over to the page of Good Morning Ifa and broadcast from there. So again, if you haven't liked the page, please like it now. Join us, be a part of the experience. All right, you can also go to YouTube and subscribe there too, and watch the videos there too at your leisure. It might be a little easier to go to YouTube than to find it and search on Facebook, but nevertheless, you can go to those things to get that done. Now, announcements real quick. I want to make sure I put this out there, is that I started a page recently called Ogbe Iyonu Support Group. All right, Ogbe Iyonu, which is my Odu support group. And what that is that, and I'm hoping that other people start support groups for themselves, I say, because as a practitioner of Ifa, it can get very complicated and it's at times frustrating. And sometimes you can't get to your Babalao to get answers, especially when real life is happening. So to me, I said, you know what, it'll be a good idea to have a support group for people who may be initiated and have Ogbe Iyonu as their life Odu, or they may be married and that's their marriage Odu, or they may have a hand of Ifa and that's their Odu, or they may have gotten a Dafa done and that's their Odu. Whatever the reason being, if you're dealing with Ogbe Iyonu, you're going to need some support with any Odu. But if you're dealing with Ogbe Iyonu and you want support, join that group. And what we'll do is we'll share our experiences with that Odu. And I'm going to start a series of videos that will break down some of the Odus attached to Ogbe Iyonu. Some of the stanzas, rather, that's attached to Ogbe Iyonu. Okay? So, please, go on Facebook, find that, like that also, okay? All right, now, let's get to business. Today's topic. And before I get into this, I want to say this too. This topic right here is going to be a very interesting topic. I'm going to try to stick to the script as much as I can. I have a script. I have it scripted out as much as I can right here, but I'm probably going to veer off the road here and there, but please bear with me because this is a topic that's pretty near and dear to my heart, and I may be revealing something to you guys that I've never revealed thus far. So please stay tuned and bear with me on this presentation. Now, today's topic is be thankful before Ifa gets Gankful. Let me say that again. Be thankful before Ifa gets Gankful. Now, let me address this up front, all right? Because I had a few people when I was doing a promotion of it, they were kind of like offended by the Gankful part, talking about, is Ifa going to the streets now? Well, Ifa is everywhere. Ifa is in the ghetto. Ifa is in the house on top of the hill. Ifa is in the jungle. Ifa is in the ocean. Ifa is in the forest. Ifa is everywhere. So, again, like I said, this Good Morning Ifa broadcast is Ifa interpreted through the experiences of an African in America. So, as an African in America, we experience all of these things, including the ghetto. So, that's why I use the phrase Gankful in the words of Ice Cube. Got it? I shizzle, we good? Let's keep it pushing. So, again, the topic is be thankful before Ifa gets Gankful. So, here's what I want to do. I want to start off with a prayer. All right? I want to read a prayer or recite a prayer that speaks to the thankfulness that I'm speaking of. All right. So this prayer is called Otura Irete. Otura Irete. Say it with me. Otura Irete. Otura on the right, Irete on the left. Ashe, Ashizzle. Okay. It goes like this. To show gratitude upon gratitude is the hour of all gratitude. To display benevolence upon benevolence is the hour of all benevolence. Whoever does not show gratitude for yesterday's benevolence shall not receive today's gratuity. These were the declarations of Ifa to the 401 Orumile when going to marry Ope, the daughter of Orisha Jibawuji. The same was declared for Orumila when going to marry Ope, the daughter of Orisha Jibawuji. I am grateful I received my gratuity. I am grateful for yesterday's favor. I shall receive today's gratuity. That's Otura Irete. Now, Otura Irete speaks to being grateful. Grateful. And if you're not grateful, you will not receive today's gratuity. So anything that is coming your way, that was supposed to come your way, if you weren't grateful for yesterday's blessings, or the day before that blessings, or last year's blessings, today's blessings could be blocked, shall be blocked. What does that mean? Well, that means that if you're not grateful for things in your life, and that includes anything that you may view as an ayewo, not just the erase. Everybody loves to deal with the erase part, right? The things that are great and blessing, like, the array of Ayeku, the array of Ajay, money and wealth, and the array of a good spouse and children and victory and all these things, especially the Ajay. Everybody loves Ajay, right? But you got to be thankful for everything, even the Ayewos. That's the trick part, because being thankful is being thankful when you don't want to be thankful. That's the trick part. Be thankful when the chips are down, so to speak. Be thankful. You can't just be thankful when everything's all good. Anybody can do that. They call that fair weather, right? Anybody can do that. But being thankful when the chips are down, when you're experiencing an Ayewo situation. What's an Ayewo situation, just to be clear? An Ayewo situation is, remember, there's light and there's dark. And the light part in Ifa we call Ire. And the dark part, so to speak, we call Ayewo, right? Now, Ayewo could be death. It can be a sickness or an illness. It can be losses. It can be fights, contention, court cases. Anything that causes you anxiety or hurt and fear, like I said, even death, losses, anything that like that, right? But when those things come, people usually that's a test coming to you. For the most part, that's normally your test coming to you. So we have to be thankful for that test. We have to accept that test for its purpose. Don't you have tests in school? And that test in school is designed to see where you are with that information. And if you don't pass the test, the teacher can tell that you're not ready to move to the next stage, right? Same idea with a test in life to me. When Ifa brings an Ayewo to your front doorstep, that is your test of Ifa, to see if you're ready to move forward, to see if you're ready to accept the blessings that should be coming today or tomorrow. Because if you're not ready to receive it and deal with it on this level with this, then how can I bless you with more? These are the tests. So you have to be thankful for those things. You have to be thankful for the things that you experience, good, bad, or indifferent. That's my lesson I've learned in this process so far of being an Ifa initiate, Awo, all of that good stuff. You have to be thankful for those things. I'm going to read one more. I'm going to go over one more stanza, and then we're going to get into the big meat of this situation. And this is where it's going to start getting deep after this one right here, okay? So bear with me. But again, if you're watching this, please share it as much as you can. Tag somebody, send it to somebody, because somebody's going to need to hear this today. All right. So, Obada Irete is the next Odu. Obada is on the right. Irete is the Odu on the left. Okay. Now, I need you guys to do me a favor. Listen to this Odu stanza. Listen to it. Listen carefully, because I'm going to break it down a little bit later on. But listen to what it's about to say. The vulture consumed the ebo material, but refused to thank the person who gave the ebo. Thank you for yesterday is the awo of all benevolence. This was cast Ifa for Aina Kete Kete, the vulture, who was the offspring of a long generation, a long lineage. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Now, Ifa, thank you for my prosperity. Obada Irete, I am very grateful. Thank you for my good spouse. Obada Irete, I am very grateful. Thank you for my children. Obada Irete, I am very grateful. Thank you for all ire of life. Obada Irete, I am very grateful. Now, before I move forward, just in case, I just got to do this just in case. I don't know. I don't want to assume. I want to make sure people understand the definitions and the phrases that we're using according to what Ifa is saying. Okay? So when Ifa says benevolence, which is one of the highlighted words in this stanza, and the other one too, in the Oturi Rete. Benevolence. What does Ifa say benevolence is? Ifa says benevolence, the act of being generous and the desire to do good at all times without any selfish consideration. In Ifa, if you give another person what you don't really need, even if it benefits the receiver, this is not viewed as benevolence. In other words, if you give somebody something that you really don't need, like if somebody asks you to borrow $20 and you got $8,000 in your pocket, that's not benevolence. But if you only have, they ask you for $10 and you only have 11 and you give them that 10, that's truly benevolence, because that's something that you needed but you were willing to give it up, right? True benevolence is giving another person what you truly need, which will really help the receiver. That's what benevolence means. I want you guys to understand what this stuff means in Ifa, so I'm not just speaking and sounding like I'm smart. I want everybody to be on the same page. So what are some of the gifts that we can be thankful for, Ashe, according to this Obada Irete and that Oturi Irete? What are some of the things we should be thankful for? And I'm going to come back to this Obada Irete later on, all right, and break some of it down. So this is where it gets personal for me. Again, I want you guys to understand something. I speak this Good Morning Ifa message through my personal experiences. I'm not here to try to act as if I know all of Ifa, because I don't at all. Trust me, I got initiated almost a year and some change ago. I'm learning a lot and experiencing a lot. And a lot has transpired in my life in this last year that just shook the foundation of my life. So I understand that I don't know it all. I am learning. I'm on the job learning, like most people are. So I don't want to get up here and act like as if I know it all. Trust me, I don't. But there's some things I do know, and a lot of it has come from experiences, especially in this last year, which I may share a little bit with you in a second. But some of the things that we need to be thankful for, I have a few things jotted down here. And yesterday, I was in LA, and I was in Leimert Park area. And I sat there on Leimert Park on Degnan Boulevard, or Avenue, whatever it is. I sat there on Degnan, and as I sat there, I looked around and I saw all kind of stuff happening on Degnan, right? Now, keep in mind, Degnan is like a block away from Crenshaw Boulevard, which is being gentrified heavily, where other races have come back and taken the block over. But Leimert Park is probably one of the last standing areas where black people are supposed to be thriving and dominating. And as I looked out there over on Degnan in Leimert Park, I just saw nothing but chaos. I saw nothing but chaos. I'm talking, we have black business owners trying to do business on this block. And then right standing in front, in the middle of the street, on the sidewalk, and everywhere else, we have people over here smoking pounds of weed. We have people over here just bumping all kind of music, vulgar, whatever. We have sisters walking up and down the block half naked. We have the RBG crew over here in the corner with their dashikis and black fists and pumping over here in this section. We got a brother like looking like he's a Shaka Zulu warrior running up and down the streets and then decides to climb into the middle of a tree and go up to the tree, the top of the tree. I'm like, this is ridiculously crazy. So I sat there, I'm sitting here like amazed. Like, what happened to our community? Why didn't we respect it? When you don't respect the community, what will happen? What will happen is something called gentrification. There's this phrase that I like to use. I'm going to use it the rest of the way, okay? They say, what's one man's trash can be another man's treasure. So what you may not see as value, someone else may see. Now, Leimert Park in LA, that was once dominated by African Americans, is in a very seriously, it's in a great location. It's 15 to 20 minutes from the beach on a good day, but not anymore. It's located in a perfect area. And we once had it. Our ancestors, our grandparents, our mothers and fathers who came from the South, who migrated from the South to LA, dominated it and went through hell when they got here, fought racism and was able to fight racism to where they were able to kind of move westward gradually and take over certain neighborhoods that was once populated by Caucasians. And they went through hell to do it. Now our generation comes up and just totally disrespects that. Again, they were not grateful. And if you're not grateful for yesterday's gratuity, you will not receive today's favor, right? So, we disrespected it. Then came gentrification. So as I looked at Degnan, I said, it's only a matter of time before Degnan is gone too. Because look how we disrespect it. I'm literally sitting in my car in front of this group of kids. Like three kids, 2 dudes and a girl. They're sitting there rolling blunts together, just on the sidewalk, just like in broad daylight, like no one cares. And I'm sitting there like, and I'm sitting there writing out my thing for today. And this is what is fueling it. I couldn't believe it. So community is an array. To have a great community, that's a good array. To have community, which is what we need definitely right now. If you would agree, please put a like up for me. We need community. Everybody's crying for community. But that's not a community. That is chaos. Waiting for gentrification to happen. For someone to respect that area, come in and clean it up and make it productive. Because that wasn't productive. But that array can be followed by an Iyewo. And what's the Iyewo? Gentrification. And that gentrification is happening in LA, New York, Chicago, and many other places across the country that we once dwelled in. What's something else we should be thankful for? Well, we should be thankful for good spouses, right? That's one of the arrays that we always pray for in Ifa. Good spouses. We pray for good spouses, and then we get the good spouses, and then we disrespect the good spouses. We don't nurture the spouses. We take the spouses for granted. Now, it's about to get real. I wrestled with this idea this morning, yesterday, probably the last few days, of me speaking to this idea of good spouses because it's a near and dear situation to my heart. So, I guess I'll do it. I said I gotta speak through my experiences, right? So I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. So at the end of the day, good spouses is something that's hard to find. And when you have a good spouse, you need to nurture that spouse. Or if you don't, what will happen is something that starts with a D. Divorce. Right? So, again, spouses are the initiators of a family. Families are the initiators of the community. Without good spouses, you don't have good families. Without good families, you can't have a good community. So, these are the roots of the situation. Now, my personal experience with this is that divorce is at my doorstep. I'm sure you guys who's ever been watching my videos for a while, you've probably seen my wife, or I guess she'll be my ex-wife soon, in my videos. And I have fallen a prey to that Ayewo. Now, like I said previously, an Ayewo is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not. When you go through hard times, I'm gonna tell you a story a coach once told me in high school. I had a coach. His name was Bud Leonard Owens. He might be on this Facebook thing at some point. And when I was in practice, he would always call my name, like I was doing something wrong. And one day it just irritated me to no end. And I had to call him. I was like, man, why do you keep calling my name? And he was like, bruh, come here. Let me talk to you. He said, if I call your name, you should not worry. It's when I stop calling your name is when you should worry. So in my humblest opinion, when things are going haywire, when an Ayewo is at your doorstep, that is Ifa, that is Olodumare, that is Egungun, that is whoever is sending that Ayewo your way to get your attention, to pay attention to something, to purge you, to prepare you. It takes a woman 9 months to give birth to a child. She got to go through all kind of morning sicknesses, uncomfortable doctor visits, swollen feet, can't lay down right, all kind of uncomfortableness in that process. And then she got to even go through labor, which is, as they describe, one of the most painful situation on planet Earth to go through. Awake. And then she gives birth to that child. And after that child is born and is out of her stomach and laying on her chest, crying, it seems like they forget all of that process. And it makes it all worth it. So at some point, we have to let those things go that we call negativity and embrace them. For me right now, I'm embracing the divorce situation. I'm not happy about it. It's not what I want. But somewhere down the line, God said, I need to prepare you for something. And some things in your life you're going to have to lose and feel the pain and the burn of that situation to change the way you think, to change the way you are reacting, because I can't send this your way if you're not ready. So you have to go through that pregnancy test, that pregnancy phase. Go through that uncomfortableness. Go through the vomiting. Go through the I can't go to sleep tonight because I can't sleep because the baby's kicking. All of that stuff. Like, go through those pains to be prepared. So Ifa is calling my name like that coach was calling my name in practice. I'm embracing that. I'm embracing that. So I say this to everybody else who may be dealing with anything with a spouse. If you have a good spouse, protect them, love them, nurture them, care for them. But if you happen to be going through a divorce and happen to be going through a separation, happen to be going through a breakup, embrace that too. You have to be thankful. That's the sacrifice. Sacrifices are hard. That's why Ifa is so hard for some people. Sacrifices are hard. Sacrifices are hard. I'm sure my ancestors who worked on plantations sacrificed so that we can be here today. And that had to be the hardest thing on planet Earth. That's why I'm making this video, being thankful before Ifa gets Gankful, because we have not respected the things that have became before us, the Ebo materials that was laid down before us. I'm getting off topic again. Let me come back. All right. The next segment, I'm going to go into. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to pick some up out of here. I'm going to go to the family one, because the family one ties into what I just said. Family is a big part, like I said. You have the spouses who come together. You have the family that's formed from the spouses, and that family forms a community. So if we don't have family together, then we have broken homes. And we can see what the results of the broken homes are now. We can see the results. It's right before our faces. 70% of African American households are headed by one person, one parent, and usually it's a woman. That's the product, that's the product of the Ayewo of broken homes. But the positive one is the family is still together. And I know a few people who have had their families together for 20 plus years. 20 plus years. My auntie and them been together 28 years. One of my partners been together with his wife 26 years. Raised their kids, and they're all grown, doing majority of them are grown now and doing well. I have a few other partners that did this, that were able to accomplish the same thing, but there's a whole lot of other partners that didn't make it. I'm one of them. I didn't have that blessing. I wish I did, because broken homes is a terrible Ayewo. Now, is that a Ayewo that we should be thankful for? That can be analyzed a little further, because it is showing us broken homes and this situation where 70% of us are being raised in a single parent home is something that we need to look at and see why. There's obviously something we need to calibrate. We need to fix. We need to come back together to rejoin the families, not being so easy to break up. People even look at marriages nowadays like it's a prom date or something, because they can just walk away from it and just say it's over with. I don't want to deal with this. It's too hard. That's the sacrifice, man. When you want something, you have to sacrifice to get it. You have to, and you're going to go through some things to get to the part that you want to be in, which is the good part, which everybody wants to be in the array. But you got to go through some things to get that. You can't just have it on a platter. So family is another one, man. The last one I think I'm going to do is spirituality. Spirituality has been lost in our society, and religion has replaced it. To me, religion is an Ayewo. Spirituality is the array. Religion is an Ayewo. And we've lost the idea of spirituality, which is the reason why I'm so glad I was called back to Ifa, because it's one of the spirituality practices that it amazes me. I've been through a lot of things in my life, but I found Ifa so vast and so intriguing. That's why I'm sitting here making these videos, because spirituality is not a religion. Spirituality is within you. It starts with spirit. It's in you. Religion is something that tries to commercialize spirituality and puts it in a can and sits it on the shelf called a church or a mosque where masses of people can come to. But spirituality is in you. God already gave you that. You already have that in you. And the blessings of our ancestors who laid and paved the way, as I said in the beginning, the vulture consumes the ebo material but refuses to thank the person who gave the ebo. That's Obata Irete. The way has already been paved. Come back to spirituality. Religion hasn't worked for us in 400 years almost now. Spirituality is where it works. What's proof of that? I always say this example because it's the only one. Proof of spirituality working over religion is the Haiti Revolution. If you don't know anything about the Haitian Revolution, please look it up. Actually, you can go to Tariq Nasheed's website and order his 1804 video. Learn even more about it. Some people are visual learners, some people are book readers. But there's so many books on Toussaint Louvier, all kind of stuff. I have the book right here myself. But Tariq Nasheed did a great job on it. So go watch that. But spirituality is what helped them defeat superpowers, all of this white Caucasian superpowers, European superpowers of the world. I'm talking about the British, the French, the Americans, the Dutch, the what's that? It's another one. Spaniards for sure, but it's another one. I can't think of it. But they defeated all the superpowers of that time. Took them 10 years to defeat them, but they did it. How? Spirituality, Voodoo, Ifa, whatever you want to call it. Spirituality has to come back. We need to be in array with spirituality and get out of this of a religion so that we can make changes in our families, our spouse relationships, then our communities. And once we get that done, the world will be a better place. Trust me. All right. I want to address something real quick because somebody asked me a question when I was promoting this, and I said, that's a pretty interesting question. They said, does Ifa punish? Ifa doesn't punish you. I won't call it punishment, but there are consequences to Ifa. That's why when you get a reading done or you get initiated even, you have taboos you have to follow. You have taboos you have to follow. What are the taboos? Taboos, I'll give you mine. My taboos are hard for me. And usually they're hard for most people. But for me, they're definitely hard. My taboos are, I can't eat corn. I can't eat eggs in any form. I can't drink alcohol. I can't eat chicken. Thank God I'm a vegan. But that's hard though. Why is it so hard? Because eggs is in everything. So many things. Corn is in like almost everything you eat. Especially the way they process food in America. But remember, an African in America's experience. Alcohol is everywhere. Every event, every birthday, every holiday, every place you go to, there's people that's going to be celebrating drinking alcohol. And guess what? I can't do it. But that's my sacrifice. Now, the consequences of me doing those things will not, the idea is that it will block my array of blessings of Aj, blessings of wealth. Now, I can eat that or drink that stuff if I want to, but am I willing to suffer the consequences? Not the punishment, but the consequences. There's consequences to everything. It's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. Ifa is very clear to the messages. Now, it's easy to stick to the things that are easy for you, but Ifa always throws something in there that's difficult. I'm a person that loves tacos. I can't have a taco anymore unless they make some new shells that's not corn. I haven't had a taco since. Been fiending for a taco, but can't have a taco. There's consequences. That's what it's called. It's not punishment. It's consequences. So if you're not thankful for what you're supposed to be doing, if you're not thankful for the things you have, even if you don't have anything, even if you have been struggling financially, getting a divorce, car on the repo list, getting an eviction, struggling, all the things that you can think of that can be dark, negative, and in the yay-wo. If you're dealing with those things, like the coach said, be worried when I don't call your name. Be thankful that you're going through that, because to me, that is something that is calling your name. It needs to make you better. And if you fight through it, you will have a better situation than you had over here in the end. The consequences of you not fighting through it are much worse. If you agree with me, give me an shizzle or give me a like. Hope I'm doing okay today. This is a very touchy, because I didn't plan on giving my own that much information that I just gave out, but hey, it is what it is, man. I got to keep it 100 with myself and keep it 100. Taboos, one thing about taboos, Ifa doesn't have to punish you. Ifa does not have to punish you. There's a saying in Ifa, I forgot what Odu it is, but there's a saying in Ifa that says taboo would take care of itself. Ifa doesn't have to do anything. If Ifa gives you a taboo, taboo is his own energy. And it will definitely take care of itself. Meaning that if you are given a taboo and you decide to break it, then you're going to have to deal with that taboo. Whatever it is. You're going to have to deal with it. When you sit on a mat and you come to Ifa, if you came to Ifa not to listen to what Ifa has to say, then why are you on the mat? You have to listen to the Ebo, and you have to listen to the taboos. You have to. Ifa has said it. Taboos will take care of itself, and I've seen it. I've seen it for my own personal self. I've done some things where I got weak. I'm not perfect either. I've done some things where I got weak, and I dabbled in something, and then I just saw it happen. I saw it happen. One day I was doing something. I ain't gonna say what it is. I was doing something that was a taboo of mine, and I was on the side of a road. This was very recent. I'm talking like a couple of days ago. I was on the side of a road, and I sat there and I stopped in the shaded area, and I was doing what I was doing, and as I was doing it, this lady walked up on the side of me. I didn't see her initially because my head was down doing something. And all of a sudden I just looked up. It was this black lady. She was very dark skinned. She just sat there in front of me and just stared at me, like with this harsh stare. And I was like, what's wrong with this lady? But immediately I got the message that was Ifa sending somebody to get my attention to say, what the hell are you doing? And I had to just stop and let it go and throw it out at that time. But Ifa is that way, man. He's going to let you know and give you chances. And if you don't listen to the chances, he has to let the consequences take place. We all get weak, man. It's hard. Ifa is not my Babalawo, my Oluo told me one time. He said Ifa is not for the faint of heart. It's not for everybody. Everybody can't do it. It's certain things that you have to do, man, and it's tough for some people to do it. And I appreciate it, but we all get weak. That's the message here. And taboos are real. All right, so lastly, I want to go over this Obada Irete, man, because this Obada Irete is a very deep Odu. Let me go through this part again. It says, the vulture consumed the Ebo material. What is Ebo material? Ebo material is the things that we offer for an Ebo. It's an offering to our Oris. It's an offering to any Orisha. It's offering to Ifa. It's offering to Olodumare. It's offering to whatever. Your Egungun, your ancestors. It's materials you give to them for them to do the work that you need, right? That's the Ebo material. Now, the vulture consumed it. What is a vulture? A vulture is a scavenging animal. Vultures don't really kill anything. Vultures are opportunistic. Vultures go and take advantage of somebody else's work or something's demise. So either an animal just died of old age and the vulture is doing its job to clean up the earth, or some animal took this animal down, killed it, ate it, and the vulture is taking its scraps. What we're saying here is that you have to even be thankful for the scraps you are giving, because a vulture does not make his own food. That was deep to me. And it goes to what I said earlier. We have to be thankful when we're living in a scrapped state of mind or a scrap existence, meaning like if you're going through a divorce, if you're being evicted, if you just lost your job, blah, 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 blah. All the American crap that we go through here. If you go through these things here, you have to be like that vulture and thank the person who laid the scraps down for you, because at the end of the day, you have a feast coming. And if you're not thankful for today's benevolence, you will not receive tomorrow's favor, as we said again in Otori Rete. The moral to this story, y'all, I'm going to get off of this thing pretty soon. We are coming to the end. Is that we have to be thankful before Ifa gets Gankful. We disrespected our neighborhoods and gentrification came into place. Now we don't have LA, we don't have New York, we don't have Chicago, we don't have none of the places that was once ours. All right? Besides the places that don't nobody really want, like Detroit. We have to be thankful before Ifa starts ganking us and jacking for beats like Ice Cube, right? We got to be respectful for what we have. We got to be respectful for what our ancestors laid and paved the way for. I made a video the other day. I don't think our ancestors are happy right now with this, because look what's happening, man. We have not respected them and their legacy and their sacrifices and what they've done and gone through. I'm telling you, sitting in Leimert Park yesterday was hard for me. There's ladies walking up and down the street butt naked. Butt naked. I'm sure that her ancestors are not happy with that. These brothers sitting up here smoking weed, doing absolutely nothing productive in their day. And everybody has their prerogative. It's your life. But when it's your life and you bring your life into the public, you make it everybody else's problem. If whatever you do in your household is your business, the minute you bring it to the public, it's not your business no more. That's what's wrong with this society to me. We're not thankful for what our ancestors paved the way for, and we're paying for it dearly. That Leimert Park experience initiated that whole sermon I just gave. The question is, what are we going to do about it? What's the answer to it? Which I always like to leave with answers. In my humblest opinion, whatever religion you want to practice, notice I say religion, not spirituality. Whatever religion you want to practice, that's your business. But we've been practicing religion over 400 years. And it hasn't worked. I gave the analogy earlier of Haiti. That is the only thing where it has worked, and they use spirituality to defeat superpowers. At least 5 of them minimum. At a time where they were slaves. They didn't have cannons. They didn't have tanks and guns. They got guns because it was guerrilla warfare and they took their guns. But they didn't have the big cannons and ships and all this artillery that these people had, but they defeated them. It's time to respect our ancestors who paved the way, who sacrificed and gave their abode with their lives, their sweat, their blood, their tears, their sacrifices. Man, if you have a spouse, you guys, love them, protect them, respect them, nurture them. If you have children, nurture them, take care of them. Family, stick together. Bring morale back. Respect each other. Respect yourselves even. Those are sacrifices, very minimal sacrifices we can make. Ifa is about you coming to this planet, doing your work, and leaving this planet a better place than what you found it. Leimert Park was an exact opposite of that idea. Now, I'm not saying that happens in Leimert Park every day, but it should happen no day. If I was a black business owner on that street, I would be in an uproar. You're not smoking weed in front of my shop. You're not walking in my shop butt naked. You're not going to be outside playing blasting music. That is a distraction for customers. Again, whatever you do in your house, do it. That's your business. But the minute you bring it to the streets, you made it mine. People have children they're walking with. It's not about you, bruh. It's about the community when you're outside. It's only about you in your own house. We have to respect what our ancestors have paved. Be thankful for what we have. and respect it so that it can be here for generations beyond us. This gentrification process is strictly letting you know that your so-called legacies will not be here. They're destroying it because you didn't respect it. Leticia, I go live every second and fourth Sunday of the month with Good Morning Ifa. All right, every second and fourth Sunday of the month. I hope you tune in and share it with some other people too. What's up, Akeem? AP, what's going on, bro? What's up, Roy? Man, this message is so needed. It was so needed to get that off my chest. I pray that Ifa blesses everybody with this message, that allows people to receive this message, and we start calibrating the way we think and the way we move, the way we perceive things. And we start making the changes, make the sacrifices. The people who came before us already did. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The best way to start making those changes, to me, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's facts, but it's facts for me, is to start seeking spiritual practices. Walk away from religions. Let's start calling these people out on the street. Let's stop being tight-lipped when we see something we know is wrong. When I was little, I remember one day when I was little, I was being bad in the neighborhood, and I was at my homeboy's house around the corner from my house playing. We was in the backyard playing, and I said something foul. My friend's mother happened to come outside and hear me say it. She grabbed me, proceeded to beat my butt, and then walked me to my mother around the corner, took me to my mother and told my mother what I had done. Then my mother beat my butt and then thanked her for what she did. That's called community working together. Because from that point on, I always respected Pat. Her name was Pat. I've always respected Pat for what she did. She took me to my mother, beat my butt first, and then took me to my mom. My mother did it again. From that point on, I never disrespected Pat. Every time I saw Pat, I was the humblest kid in her presence. Right? We lost that, man. Because families and communities don't stick together like we used to. Everybody turns their back on what they see is wrong. And that's just wrong. That's why Lamert Park looked like what it did yesterday. Everybody's afraid to say something. Everybody just want to get along, knowing that none of this stuff is right. That's just a small situation. And regarding everything else I named today, as far as the Yewos, divorce, all that stuff I named, yes, I'm in that cloud. Unfortunately, sorry to say, it's not by my choice. I didn't choose it. It's not what I want, but it's what I have to deal with. And I thank Ifa for it. Because I know that Ifa has something coming to me and for me that's going to bless me even more. I give thanks for that experience that I had with that person. I'm not going to name any names that I had with that person. But since it's come to a head and she chose to leave, God bless her. It hurts. It's painful. Divorces are not easy. But when you come out of that pain, just like that 9 months of the giving birth process or pregnancy process, I'm sure that I'm going to have a great baby. I'm going to give birth to some great stuff. And I'm going to do some great things in life that maybe I just wasn't going to be able to do in that situation. So I give thanks. I give thanks for the gank. That's a good one. I give thanks for the gank. All right. I thank y'all for watching, y'all. Good Morning Ifa. I've been going about an hour now, so I'm kind of long-winded today. But I give thanks for y'all watching today. I pray that you guys share this video. I hope that you guys receive something from it. I hope that it was a blessing to you. as much as it's been a blessing for me to get it off my chest, I feel a whole lot lighter. Share this message. Share this message. Like the page, Good Morning Ifa. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to keep building that up there on the YouTube channel also. And look out for the Ogbe Iyonu support group. First broadcast will be a week from this Thursday. Not this Thursday coming up, but a week from this Thursday. It'll be in the evening time, so people can sit down and have dinner and watch it if they need to. All right? It'll be a week from this Thursday. I'm thinking, and you'll see the flyer circulating eventually. I'll put it out there this week coming up, start promoting it. But it'll be a week from this Thursday. It's called the Ogbe Iyonu support group. And what I'll be doing is putting out a series of videos relating to Ogbe Iyonu. Different stanzas of Ogbe Iyonu, and trying to share some understanding. And then you guys can share your experience with that idea. If you have Ogbe Iyonu, whatever I'm going to tell you at some point, you're going to deal with it. So please look out for that, y'all. And if you like any of the music that was played today, you can always go to our website, actually, indigenousrhythms.com. All right, I give thanks to everybody who tuned in. Remember, please like this video, share this video.
Boomerang theory, you want love, then give love. Live your life, don't let them kill your buzz. Like pest inspectors, extract the nectar from wax situations, ancestors, texture. Praying it went through so you can see through the pain, pushing you on to destiny lane. Life is an experience, ain't no need in fearing it. Here's an experiment, go have a collision with fear. Doubt, insecurity, ambiguity. You stir it in detergent, watch your purpose circus, confidence soar. Sleeping giants roar, new roads get explored and folds to the core. Butterflies leap the coons like baby sex in the womb. Clear sight, life filled with the sweetness of ocean. No longer move timidly, dreams are seen vividly. Recalibrated chemistry introduced.
My brother AG from DG. I can't be going on. Mario Money.
Can I kick
Mary
it?
Ra, how are you today, sir?
Can I kick it?
Dina Lee, what's going on, sis? How are you? Long time no hear from.
You can take an African out of Africa, but you can't take Africa out of African. From Fela to Thela, I see why they say I fear in the heart of the least. The scene deja.
Confidence.
The king returned, vows to rule with an iron fist. Shango piss, fire
Jamal,
to spew like dragons. Imagine, whole goon circle your stagecoach wagon, demanding reparations of shade. Cave folks, no Africans, no slaves, no rookies. We ran empire, Lucius and Cookie. Don't call your bookie. Bet it all, top dollar. My ancestors started it all. Ears and robbers, destined for greatness. Acquiescing and nothing less. Every aspect of blackness, we the best. Every day my eyes open and beat. Hit the flow, I give thanks and I pray my day be any ray. Right now, spitting that. So many souls to reach. Teach us what I came to do. Introducing them to
high energy flow with wisdom. Raising sophisticated knowledge over rhythm.
Can I kick it?
James, Cedric Thomas. Hey,
Can I
everybody.
kick it?
I give peace and thanks to everybody who
High
came in.
energy flow with
Again, if you want to get some of the music, you want to support us, get some of the music at least. Go to the
African,
Indigenous
very
website. You can
African.
get some of these
Step on in this
hats.
bin bay, see what's
This is my new
happening.
fresh summer white hat.
Drummers going in, making
Get
ancestors
some of the
green. Life
t-shirts.
come full circle,
Support us,
black
y'all.
back where we
We got some
began. Put
Good
them
Morning
all
Ifa
battles
t-shirts
down to
coming
make
too,
sure
so
we
you can
pay
support
homage.
us if you
Taking
can.
divine knowledge, you're never gonna get
Please,
in college or
receive the
recalibration.
blessings,
Oh,
I
reach
say.
your elevation,
Receive
cloud,
the
greet
blessings.
the
You want
arts,
support us, go
power,
to
bless the
indigenous.com.
We are
Order some
singing the
stuff. We'll
blessings
send it
of
out to you right
thankful
away.
to all of the
Right?
Mari for
Again,
blessing
thanks
us
y'all
with the
for
strength
listening.
to survive that
Again, I'm
middle
Makanjuola.
passage.
This
That's
is Good
why
Morning
we
Ifa.
dance